When the bell rings, the referee in charge, the Sarge, Dave Blackwell. Introducing team number 1. First, being accompanied by the manager of champions, Onyx. Former WWE superstar, Jinder Mahal. Former WWE superstar, Jinder Mahal. And from Syria, Akbar Barat. Together they are the disciples of Allah. And their opponents. First, from 1 billion light years from the universe, he is the Renegade Massive Space Steed, Kobe! Pride of Roma, Texas. He is the Renegade Death Machine, Bandana Joe! Together they are the Renegades of Wrestling!
This is my side. You guys both suck. Let's see it.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is your Primus for NWA Wrestling Revolution Arabian Assault. This here is your host, the voice of the NWA Wrestling Revolution, Jeremy Medrano, joining you in this very, very special Primus. And there we see Jinder Mahal, I guess reminiscing back to the 3MB days with him, Drew McIntyre, and Heath Slater. You see using Onyx's cane. You know, I've always said it can't be a Bandana Joe match without a Goonies reference.
Mexico! 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 Great Khali! That's where we are!
Well, apparently Jinder isn't that good of a geographer. Well, that's okay. He's made a pretty good living as a wrestler. Obviously, being a former WWE superstar can attest to that. Well, I guess the stage is getting behind Jinder Mahal. Looks like we're about to get this tag match started. Alright, there's the bell. And we got Bandana Joe and Jinder Mahal kicking things off here. Now obviously, as I said, Jinder Mahal, former member of 3MB in his WWE heyday. So obviously, he's experienced when it comes to tag team wrestling, but however, he hasn't had that many tag matches with Akbar Farad. I mean, they've teamed together before, but not to the extent of Bandana Joe and Coven. Obviously, Bandana Joe and Coven are not just lifelong tag team partners, but they're lifelong friends. Granted, being as though one's from Rio Grande City and the other's from Roma, I mean, we got a slap followed by a punch by Bandana Joe. As I said, despite Bandana Joe being from Roma and Coven making his residence in Rio Grande City, two rivaling towns, there's also a bond there between Coven and Joe. They managed to put aside that animosity to come together for one common goal, and that's to become the best tag team, not just in the NWA Wrestling Revolution, but to be the best tag team wherever they go. And here we see the fans of Cena El Rey getting behind the Renegade Death Machine. So in this case, the tag team edge actually goes to Bandana Joe and Coven. I mean, together these two are former tag team champions. So obviously, that says something when it comes to their abilities as a tag team. And there you see Jinder. Now, obviously, when it comes to one-on-one, Jinder obviously has the size advantage, being the taller of the two. But as you saw right there with that shoulder tackle, Bandana Joe definitely has a good power game. There you see Jinder, Akbar, and Onyx trying to form a plan B here, since obviously their plan A isn't working to their advantage. Now, just because Bandana Joe and Coven have the experience as a tag team doesn't necessarily mean that they're a shoo-in to win this matchup. As I said, Jinder Mahal's a former WWE superstar. He's gone one-on-one with some of the best in wrestling. But right now, Bandana Joe is taking it to Jinder Mahal. And obviously, you have that second X Factor, that being the manager of champions, Onyx. Now, Onyx has been known to do a little bit of chicanery or two in his day, more specifically out in the Laredo area. In fact, Akbar and Jinder Mahal, in fact, that's where they formed their Disciples of Allah tag team back in LWA in Laredo. And of course, Bandana Joe and Coven are no strangers to LWA, as they've been to LWA numerous times in the past. In fact, Bandana Joe is a former LWA US champion, the first ever LWA United Pure Wrestling champion, and a former LWA champion. So obviously, Bandana Joe has tremendous history in that company. But right now, these four gentlemen are applying their craft right here at NWA Wrestling Revolution, Arabian Assault. And there you see some terrific tag team work being displayed by the Renegades of Wrestling. Now, what they got to do here is they got to keep up that consistency. They got to keep this up and keep Akbar in their corner. Obviously, they don't want to give Akbar any slight of a chance to make that tag to Jinder. There you see Akbar trying to fight back. But Bandana Joe's right back into the thick of things with a huge power slam, a huge body slam in this case, and oh! Beautiful teamwork there being displayed by Coven and Bandana Joe. And now Coven is the legal man in this match. And you see Akbar trying to fight out of the suplex, but Coven comes right back with it. Here we go, here's the cover. This could be it. And not even a 2 count. Oh, and there you see Akbar. Didn't really get all of that suplex, but looked like Coven kind of landed awkwardly on his left shoulder. Well, awkwardly or not, it gets Akbar the advantage. And now Akbar is taking control. And there you see Wisely making the tag to Jinder. So now it looks like the charge of this match goes to the Disciples of Allah. Now you see Jinder using his size advantage over the smaller Coven. Did Joe make the tag there? Well, I guess he did, because Bandana Joe was in the ring and Blackwell is not keeping him out. It looks like Coven didn't get all of that missile drop kick, but it got just enough to sting Jinder and to exit the ring to form another strategy. So they try to do an aerial move, but oh! And whatever they tried to do here was thwarted by Jinder Mahal. Dave Blackwell distracted, this gives Disciples of Allah a great opportunity for some 2-on-1. And they're just taking it to Kobe. And they better watch out for that 10 count, because obviously neither one of them wants to be counted out. It looks like we're getting a Spanish lesson here by Jinder Mahal. Well, as I was saying, obviously both of them don't want to get a count-out loss, and obviously both of them don't want to get a double count-out loss. But as of right now, we're not seeing that. And then we see Jinder Mahal using his size to tire out Koven, and to make him that much more vulnerable to make the tag to Bandana Joe. Now obviously, again, much like with what the Renegades tried to do with Akbar, once again, looks like the Disciples of Allah are trying to do that with Koven and keeping him on their part of the ring. Now, so far, we haven't seen that much involvement with Onyx, but the match is still going on, and obviously Onyx is the kind of guy that would do anything to make sure that his clients walk away with the win. But right now, it looks like Onyx's in-ring services aren't needed at this time. And if they keep this up, it looks like the Disciples of Allah might walk away with the win here at Arabian Assault. Huge gutbuster slam by Akbar. Little sign of disrespect there by Akbar.
Don't give up, man. We're still in this. We're still in this.
I absolutely have no idea how Koven's going to get out of this one.
Watch the fish hook, Brett.
And now we see some involvement by the manager of champions. There we see Akbar using Onyx's cane to gain more of an advantage, as if they didn't need it already. I mean, everyone has to be careful here. I mean, Bandana Joe has to be very careful. I mean, granted, he wants to go in there and help his partner, but he's got to realize that him getting in the ring and Dave trying to subdue him is just making it worse for Koven in terms of a 2-on-1, or in this case, with Onyx being there, a 3-on-1 advantage. You know, there's a lot of wear and tear here being displayed to Koven. It's only a matter of time before Akbar and Jinder go for the finishing blow to finish off Koven and to finish off the Renegades of Wrestling and walk away the winners here at NWA Wrestling Revolution Arabian Assault. I see Koven trying to fight back here. Now, the one thing to note here is that Akbar and Jinder cannot give Koven any slight of chance to gain a second win. Because obviously, if he does, that'll give Koven that much of an opportunity to get the tag to a fresh Bandana Joe, which is something obviously the Disciples of Allah do not want. Nice little small drop kick there by Jinder, And this has got to be it. No. And Coven valiantly is fighting back.
We're still in this. Come on, Coven.
Now, obviously, you can't take away anything from Coven or Bandana Joe. And as I said, Coven, in his own right, is a tremendous athlete. I mean, a former South Texas champion, former tag team champion, the very first winner of the very first Lionheart tournament, which was the tournament that got him his opportunity to become the South Texas champion in the first place. So obviously, when it comes to individual accomplishments, Coven is a great athlete in and of himself. And there you see a great Inseguri to block Jinder's offense. There's he trying to reach for that tag with Jinder thwarting Coven, and I guess a moderation of the side effect that Coven likes to use. But now both men are down, and both men are eager to reach to their corner to make that tag. There you go, there's the tag. And there's the tag. Here comes Akbar and Bandana Joe. And Bandana Joe like a house of fire. And that's a pretty big fire. That's a pretty big house. And there you see a little tribute to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, with some bionic elbows and a double noggin knocker. Here we go. What are we going to see here? We're going to see that stalling suplex that Joe likes to do. Well, it wasn't much of stalling, but it was a suplex nonetheless. But Jinder is right there to break up the count. Here we go now. All four men are in the ring. And it's turning chaotic right now. Let's see if Dave can restore some order. Well, looks like there's no need because Jinder has just been sent out of the ring. Whoa. Nice plancha there by Coven. Something I never would expect to see out of him. But now it's back to just Bandana Joe and Akbar Farad. Well, speaking of paying tribute, looks like we're going to see a tribute to the Road Warriors, perhaps with a Doomsday device. And it is it. Here we go. This could be it. And it is. There you have it. The Renegades of Wrestling have won the... Well, obviously, Jinder Mahal isn't too happy with that. And, well, obviously the match is over, so obviously there's no need for this attack here on Bandana Joe. And obviously Coven's not aware of this. Well, obviously the Disciples of Allah are showing what true sportsmen they are with this post-match beatdown. And now here comes the Arab assassin Burhan to get himself some. And of course they're going to take this opportunity with both men already having a match. And you know, where's the security when you need them? They're never around when you need them. There you see a huge spine buster by Burhan. Okay, obviously there's no need for this. I mean, they already proved their point. But that doesn't change the fact that Bandana Joe and Coven have won this match. That'll do it for Arabian Assault. This is Jeremy Villarano saying so long. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.